everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, after a little summer hiatus, football is back. We're back. Training camp is underway. Things are good.
It was a full summer of weddings, bachelor parties. We still have a few more to go to, but for a week and a half now, every day we're like, we have to film a video and put it on YouTube, get back after it. And then we're like, we'll do it tomorrow. So we're finally back. Training camp is a couple days in.
That's right.
And we have a lot to talk about. If you are here, we are sponsored by Robbie Sabo and Jet X Factor.
That's right.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. But Mike, we're back. Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot of different storylines. You could go Haason Reddick. You can go training camp, couple of days, what's been happening. Where do you want to begin? It's been a long time.
You know what's great? And apologies for my appearance. I came back from a softball game. Tough loss. One of our listeners is on the team. We were down.
What was your stat line today?
I was 2 for 3. 2 for 3 with 2 for 4 with a couple of hits and a run scored and a ribby. Last inning, we're down 8-6. First and second, 2 outs. I come up. I hit a ball into left field. Guy from second scores. We got one of our girls is on first base. Runs through a stop sign at second base. Gets thrown out of third. Game over. It's tough. Not the best way to lose. But Matt, Aaron Rodgers, dude, is slinging the ball. I think people are forgetting that our quarterback has won 2 of the previous 4 NFL MVPs. He's only played in 3 of those seasons. You know, it's just nice to see these guys on the field. Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Tyron Smith is a monster. My main takeaway from this offseason is, man, we have so many good players.
We have too many. Like, it feels so cool. And we were on the phone in our usual daily FaceTimes, and we were going through the top 10 players on the Jets, and we were debating, okay, is AVT 9? Is he 10? And, like, we forgot Haason Reddick. We just forgot he was on
Mike
the
Williams.
list.
Yeah.
Forgot Mike. Well, it's very cool to have a team that in different levels on offense and defense and on special teams, you have elite talent and elite players. But one thing I need to make clear, and Mike, I can't stop thinking about it. I am retiring the phrase "if healthy" when referring to the 2024 Jets. There's 120 Big 4 U.S. sports teams, and every team goes into an offseason and then plays a year. How many of those teams, Mike, call out, oh, if healthy, we're going to be pretty... Why do we need to always caveat everything if healthy? I know the why, because everybody gets hurt all the time, and Rodgers gets hurt last year. And you brought up the point that we don't have injury-prone players.
It's not an injury-prone roster. It's not. Rodgers never got hurt. Rodgers missed a few games in like 2 separate seasons, played through a thumb injury 1 year. Like, he's not an injury-prone guy. He had a fluke injury. AVT got hurt twice, and Tyron Smith, you could say, is injury-prone. Who else? Mike Williams has played more games than you think. He's coming back from the ACL. Defense
has been, again, past couple of years, pretty damn healthy. But, Mike, my point is, all of last year...
I was like, we're due for a really full, healthy season, but maybe not.
Every summer, though, think about it. And you know, the Darnold era, oh, can we just have Sam play a full year and not miss 3 to 4 games like he's been his entire career? Same thing with Zach Wilson. And then last year, all summer, Mike, all I could do is like, if we're healthy, if Rodgers plays 17, I feel like we manifested like not being healthy, and I'm tired of doing it. Like 2 years ago, we had 15 different left tackles, it felt like. I'm not saying if healthy, they're going to be healthy, and we're going to have Rodgers play 14 to 15 games.
Well, that's the thing, Matt. This year, the Jets are in a better position. You got to like the depth, because you look all over the roster. And, of course, if a guy goes out for the year, it sucks, and it could be a devastating injury. But if Rodgers just doesn't miss the whole season, that's okay. Like, he could get hurt. He could pull his hamstring and miss 3 games. And then you have Tyrod Taylor, normal professional backup. You know, you just can't get decapitated or whatever, tear your Achilles. You can't do it.
Yeah, could he, like, break his non-throwing hand?
Break your left hand.
Yeah, like, an injury that will keep you sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks, but not for the entire year. And maybe, God forbid, we can get someone get banged up right before a bye week, and then we can have them. It just feels like cluster injuries at the worst time. But the good news is, healthy team right now. Like we'll probably talk about Haason Reddick. I think it's going to get resolved this week. I have a gut feeling that they're going to get this thing done. He's going to come
What is
back
it,
to training camp.
50 grand a day?
50 grand a day and
Like,
300K today. Out of it, I think a certain timer hit on like day 6 of training camp. He got fined another 300K
so
just today.
if you're Haason Reddick and you're worried about your financial future, which we get, it's football, it's vicious, yada yada yada. That's a lot of money to be throwing in the trash because you're arguing about money. What was your take on the whole situation? The Jets were right, the Jets were wrong.
You'd like for them to have it kind of sorted out, and it feels like the Jets thought they did, where they give them like a 1-year crazy incentive deal to prove it and then go crazy, or they can go the option of like, I think 3 years, 72 million. It was funny, I said 24 million per, and people thought I was saying 3 years, 24 million. That Haason Reddick was getting 8 million a year.
The CJ Uzama contract, yeah.
But Mike, why not go 3 for 72?
Yeah,
all first 2 years. So you have him for 2024, 2025. He can leave and reset his market at like 33 years old after. And then the Jets can use that then cap space to extend a Garrett, Sauce, Jermaine trio. Maybe Jermaine behind Reddick flourishes where you want to extend the younger guy and keep him and do the opposite of what you did when you let Huff go to Philadelphia. So I think keeping him for 1 to 2 years is a very savvy move. But I feel like the Jets were a little bit in the wrong because you got to know your homework. And you got to avoid situations like this where you have a guy missing the first week of camp, maybe even longer.
Right. Maybe Jermaine will be in jail by then for killing Connor Hughes. The feud on Twitter about nothing. Listen, it's tough to give Reddick 3 years, but in football, a 3-year contract is not a 3-year contract. And then if you're Reddick and you go out next year, if you sign that kind of contract and you have 14 sacks, like, force the Jets' hand. Maybe you got to keep him for that $24 million figure. And we'll see what's up with the quarterback situation at that point. One of the big storylines about Rodgers, his whole time here, one of the real storylines, not the bullshit that he went to Egypt and no one gives a shit, but people still talk about it. One of the real storylines is how many years is he going to play? And he went on Part of My Take the other day, and basically he said he wants to play 2 full seasons. So, that would line up with what you're saying. I hope he never stops playing, dude. What a pleasure. Dude, what a pleasure. The guy took a $35 million pay cut, tore his Achilles, tried to come back in the same season, and people are mad because he took a planned trip. Like, no one ever took off work before. Like, what are we doing?
And Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be treated like the 9th defensive lineman on the roster.
Of course.
It's the fact. That's the way of life. And what I would argue, Keith Olbermann, Jason Lockenfora, Mike Florio, the trio, like those 3, I have like a burning hatred for, where I don't have like derangement syndrome where I see their name and I get all mad. I just have like a burning sensation that I'm like, I fucking hate these guys. And every time they tweet
that way,
but I almost want the Jets to make this unbelievable run. Not even for me as being a fan, one for the fans that are older, like your dad, that like deserves this moment. Yeah. And if you're listening right now, if you're 50, 55, your parents are older, I want it for them, but I really want it just to see the look on those 3 fuckers' face. How fucking cool would that be if Aaron Rodgers leads this team? Florio, Lockenfora, Olbermann, I'm going to get banned on Twitter because I will not let them hear the end of it. I'll sacrifice everything I worked for. My account can go to 0. I want them cooked.
Dude, it's legitimate, the Rodgers derangement syndrome. It is 100%. And the biggest, most egregious example of this is Mike Florio with PFT, Pro Football Talk, put the Jets as his 25th in the power rankings. 25th. Other publications have them winning the Super Bowl. USA Today has them winning the Super Bowl. PFF, who we always say is an anti-Jets bias, which maybe some of the guys that they probably don't as a magazine. No one cares. But they have the Jets linebackers, corners, and defensive line as like 1, 2, and 2 in the NFL. You can't put the team 25th because you hate the quarterback. Like, it's just embarrassing on your own website. That's not clickbait. That's just stupid. I was
mean,
so mad when I saw that. I'll be honest. I was pissed.
it's not good. I don't
What are
like
we
it.
doing? That's so embarrassing.
And then Rogers donates like $100,000 for wildfire relief and no Pro Football Talk article at all. And then
Nobody cares.
I searched like Pro Football Talk previous articles, and they'll do a story in like 2018 that the Bills donated like $5,000 to like a shitty charity. I'm like, that's
Shitty
not
charity.
yeah.
Garbage charity.
Speaking of charity, I want to do the Jets Twitter versus the beat writers flag football game.
They're
Like
scared.
I DM'd my guy with the Jets that I talk to pretty often, and I'm like, you should
We got
actually
sources now.
I have 0.0 sources, but we do know people that work for the Jets.
Yes,
Again, we learn nothing about what happens from a.
we don't even ask. What are we going to ask? Like the one Jets drive crew that, like, are the Jets going to re-sign Reddick? Like, how are they going to know?
But I'm like, what if you did it? You open up Florham Park, $10 a ticket, and all the money goes to charity. Everybody that goes gets free drink, hot dog, and you can donate while you're there. And you do a flag football tournament with Brian Costello, Connor Hughes, Rich Samini, Dennis, Zach Rosenblatt, and you have like Will Parkinson with Joey Jets as a like tight end. It's like a hilarious concept that you'd raise a lot of money, I think, for a good
People
cause.
would go.
Oh, 100%.
I think people would go. If they invited us to do the other documentary about Jets Twitter, like, might as well do that. What are we doing with our time? Like, let's go play football. Dude, I would moss Rich Samini. Do you think they could field a competitive team? That's the problem. The beat writers?
They need
Like, I'm sure
DJ
Connor
Bieniemy.
Hughes-
They need DJ back.
Yeah, DJ could play. I'm sure
DJ
Connor
is one
could
of my.
play.
I'm a big DJ guy because we still have a group chat on Twitter, the three of us.
Yeah.
And when one of us fires off like an ass take, but we're like over the line, like really bad take, DJ will be the first one to DM us and be like, "You're fucking dumb," and just cook us. I love him.
He will be. The Jets are playing the Texans again in MetLife. We got to see him on Halloween. Black uniforms that day. Dude, oh, the fucking the throwback uniforms are so awesome. Oh,
you manifested that. You wanted to see Rodgers in like the 98 to 2008. You wanted it and you got it. You deserve that win.
Dude, and they put like a little bit of the 68 jersey in there, the 60s, which is beautiful. Yep. But it does look like the 98 to 2018 version, which that's what we grew up with. You know, so there's a little bit of bias there. It's like, you know, you see it growing up as a kid. But man, like to see like Rodgers playing in that era with this current team in this era with that uniform, with these expectations, like Sunday Night Football against the Bills. I think it's a Sunday night game. It might be Monday night, that game that they're wearing those. Oh, my God. And I really hope they keep them for the next couple of years because that is beautiful jersey.
Every time I see the new primary logo, and I'll tweet it out, and a few people will be like, "You're like a child." I don't care. Every time I see the new logo, like endorphin. I'm like the happiest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah, no, it matters, dude.
I can't stop thinking about like every time I see the logo, I'm like, I can't believe that's our logo now. And maybe it's ramped up. If we went from the 1998 to 2018 logo to the current logo, it'd be a cool upgrade. But the fact that for 5 years we had the worst logo ever, and now we get this is a very cool feeling. So I'm still, every time the logo shifts on like the side of one Jets drive, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I tried to love the jerseys that we just had are like Zach Wilson. We tried to love them. It didn't ever feel right. We gave it a real chance, you know, but they gave us no choice. Like it had to all be gone. They had to just scrap that era of history. It just never felt right. That whole thing. This feels right. It's and I swear, if things don't go well this year, like it is what it is. They did the right things. They really did. This is an all-star team, Matt. You said it before. We were saying AVT. We're trying to decide if he's like the 9th or 10th guy. We should do a tier ranking of all the players. We said we were going to do that.
I actually took every photo of every player and put it in a tier ranking. We just never end up doing it.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to have Richie on, and we just like didn't do it.
I have
and then we should do it. Like, yeah, we'll do it. But remember, we always talk about this video where I think it was 2017. Or it was an article. Someone was ranking the Jets roster, and like Wesley Johnson was number 10, the center. They're like, oh, dude, now we have AVT, Mike Williams in that range. Sick. DJ Reed.
Did you see the NFL Top 100 today?
Yes, it was weird. Some weird rankings. The Jets on there, I think, were Garrett was 72. No, someone was higher. Reddick was like
Rodgers.
92. Rodgers 92. Reddick was up there 70s. I think Garrett Wilson was 72. Sauce was 38, which is like super high. He's the number one quarterback in football, for sure. Quinnen was like 37. I think Quincy was 32, which was a nice ranking.
Dude, I love that Quincy got the respect that he deserves. Very cool. Very cool. And he can now make fun of Quinnen for the entire year that he's ranked higher than him.
How is Sauce 38? Because he's like well regarded. I know people say holding whatever. He's well regarded in NFL circles. Like he's first team All Pro twice.
Maybe the thought process is, need more interceptions potentially, but I was kind of pissed at Saleh's comment. Again, not that big of a deal, but he made a comment where he's like, now he has to go catch it. And yeah, he dropped the pick against the Cowboys week 2. And maybe there was another borderline one. But it's not like Sauce Gardner is out there for 2 years dropping balls right to him.
No, it hasn't been a problem. Maybe in practice though. Think
about like the Packers game in 2022, what he did. Like clamping down, having like 4 passes defended. Think about the play he made against the Chargers.
Man, people forget in the Packers game he had a pick 6 against Rodgers that was overturned off of
like the first drive.
Yeah,
which is still was a borderline call.
Jet on jet crime, dude.
I like Saleh's comment. Sauce Gardner shouldn't change a single iota of what he's doing. The picks will come his way, and if he has 2 games in the first 8 where he drops a pick, then I'll agree with them and call it out. At this point, it's too small of a sample size. He got targeted 50 times last year. He got targeted 2.5 times per game. You can't get picks that way.
The stats always come out where it's like they do the graph, and it's like, whatever, top right of the graph is the best in whatever graph. And he's just like so far out there. Like you can't even see him. You have to like scroll in and like zoom to the right. And man, he's such a good dude.
Buster Screen would be like there when he was playing.
Sauce is such a good dude. I just have PTSD from Jamal Adams, which, by the way, that's not a Jamal Adams jersey. That's Chris Ivory. I will prove it. I'll prove it after. I have PTSD, Matt, because we quote unquote said in like 2019, maybe in training camp, we were like, Jamal Adams is the best dude ever. Wish we had 11 Jamal Adams. We had that quote. And like Sauce feels that way. He's the good dude and he helps the community. He says all the right things. Even then the other day he said DJ Reed is the best corner in football. Like he's not an asshole. What a pleasure, Matt. What a pleasure to have this guy.
Yeah. And you never know. You're right. Jamal Adams has proven that you can be the coolest player for your team and great for the fan base and staying after every training camp practice. I have a Jamal Adams authentic signed jersey. He stayed after, signed everybody's jersey.
I have one in the closet too.
Fantastic. And then COVID hits and he got some bad advice from some dumb people. Again, Jamal Adams could have left the Jets in a more ceremonial way and that we don't hate him as much as we did.
Yeah.
And, I don't think Sauce would do that. I don't think Garrett would do that, but only time will tell, right? They have agents. They will. Those 2 guys in a year and a half, we are going to be talking about, are they going to hold out? Are they going to get extended? How are we going to pay all these guys? They're going to pick up the 5th year for all 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to see an interesting time frame.
Is the 3rd one just for the.
Yeah, and some holdouts, you kind of have to side sometimes with the player and say, yeah, if you play at an all-pro level, for 4 years, give them it.
Yes, there's always a way to do things. And listen, it's always easier. Like the last 2 years have not been a disaster. Like when things get really rough, either like guy is not playing as well, or the team is not playing as well, or they don't think the team is making the moves that they should be making, and they get disgruntled. Like we'll see how great these guys' attitudes are then. But it does seem like these are high character individuals, and to the Jets' credit, it seems like they prioritize drafting high character individuals. There was the one year where they drafted like 18 captains in the same draft with Joe Douglas. So, fired up, dude. Feels so good. I want to see everybody play together. Oh, Tyron Smith. It's just everyone's a monster. What are teams going to do against the Jets? What if you're on offense and you're playing the Jets, and the Jets just drove down the field and scored a touchdown in your face, and you're losing, you can't run the ball a million times right up the middle. What are you going to do? The Jets have an unbelievable pass rush. You have 2 All-Pro linebackers. You have 2 ridiculous corners and a very good slot corner, and throw it at the safety. I don't know. What are you going to do?
I don't know how you beat it. And how far are we until the next preseason game? I think we're 11, 12 days out. Like preseason games are fun. The 10th.
Wow.
I have a wedding.
Wow.
I have a wedding.
Why do people keep getting married? It's so annoying. Yeah, you're getting married.
I'm getting married.
It's fucking stupid. Civil union, my ass.
What else? Titman can't snap a ball. He'll find it. He'll find it.
But why can't you go out into a field and just snap 1,000 snaps in a row? Have one of the coaches, they have 1,000 coaches, stand in a dirt field and just snap 1,000 balls in a row.
It's like the catcher from Major League 2. You just can't throw it back to the pitcher.
That's what happens in real life. You have the yips. The guy Mackie Sasser on the Mets did that. Yeah. Chuck Knobloch got the yips.
Rich Samini saying Joey. What?
No, I don't know. It was one random baseball player. Just keep going.
He called him Joe Yipman today. Which is very funny. Very.
So
he had 2 to 3 bad snaps, and he was shaky last year at times. Was it Xavier Newman the first snap he had, just off Zach Wilson's foot, rolled back and
then he sprinted down the field, won the game.
Won the game.
Yeah, that was the worst football game ever played, maybe. The most punts in football history in that game.
Really?
Jets Giants last year, most punts ever. 27 punts or something. That's insane. I was at. Were you at that game with us?
No,
I was at that game.
I was not. But
garbage. Pouring rain.
It was Kayvon Thibodeau was offside, and that stopped the clock, and that changed everything.
Yeah,
the Jets don't win if Kayvon Thibodeau's onside.
They don't win if anything else happens. The Giants one more yard.
Robbie Gold missed the field goal.
No, Robbie. I don't think the Giants had Robbie Gold.
My memory's shot.
Graham Gano? Do they still have him?
Graham Gano.
Was it?
Probably.
Robbie Sabo. Chandler Catanzaro.
Reggie Bullock.
Eagles. Yeah, Reggie Bullock. Jeff Eagles, the punter. Right. Did anything else happen while we took a 3-month hiatus? I can't emphasize enough how good of a teammate Rodgers is. Dude, listening to him talk is unbelievable. Oh, the quote today was funny that Rodgers is the Oppenheimer of football.
That was good.
Yeah.
I was pissed off that they fined him for the Egypt trip.
That
pissed me off.
He told them months ago. Why are you fining
him? And the schedule changed. He booked it last year, and they were having a different mini camp. And he went to every OTA. The whole argument.
I think that is the argument, is that they're just trying to set an example because then you can't have other guys take off. He could do it is fine, but you can't have other guys miss practice and not find them too, I guess.
Fine.
I don't care, but I guess that is the reason. That is the reason, but yeah, that was so stupid. Again, can you imagine how disingenuous these organizations are? That the guy, again, $35 million pay cut, tried to return from an Achilles injury in the same season, and you're going to call him a bad teammate because he booked a fucking vacation.
Also, Mike, if you work at a company for 1 year, you get less vacation days, and if you work there for 15 to 20 years, you have a sabbatical program. People making the argument that, oh, rookie doesn't have this. Yeah, a rookie shouldn't have the same level
That's true.
of time off. They wouldn't. And I don't. What a nothing burger for the media to cry about. Diana Rossini crying about it.
Yeah, no, weeping, dude.
I hate it.
Unbelievable.
If Aaron Rodgers, personality, was like moved from a 9 to like a 3, and he didn't tweet about politics. The Jets would be number 8 in Mike Florio's rankings.
Yep.
Dinah Rossini wouldn't tweet a single thing negative.
Nope.
Jason LaCanfora wouldn't be a threat to democracy, which he is.
He'd be watching the Red Sox instead of the Orioles as he changed teams.
All right, let me get that out. Jason LaCanfora was
insane.
a Red Sox fan until he was 42 years old. And he moved to Baltimore and became an Oriole fan. For those that don't know, the Orioles and Red Sox play in the same division. And that is the craziest thing for a grown adult to do. But he doesn't pretend to be like I root for the Orioles. He'll live tweet every Orioles game. And it was like, you're a man-child.
Man, if you move to Miami in 2038 and become a Dolphins fan, I will never speak to you again.
You have every right to find me at any time and execute me on the spot. And I just you can have my bank, you can have my dog, you can have anything if I do that. You have the Twitter followers, you can take my Twitter account. Like you sneaky, I think, want every week, every like 4 months, you'll reply like, if Matt dies, I'm getting his Twitter account.
I just have to put it out there. There's statutes of limitations on these things. We don't want to. What if some guy takes the account and does bad things with it? I'll safeguard it. I'll do the right things.
You're right.
I'll do the coming home videos. I'll complain about them. Oh, no. I think your mic just went out. I think your mic's gone. You're speaking. Nothing's happening. You're back. That was I thought I had like a speaker.
Training camp is very bad for coming home videos because people get cut and I have to make them, which I do not want to do. All right.
That's it.
We good?
Yeah, right, there's other stuff we'll talk about throughout the weeks and training camp and these battles. And backup running back is interesting with this Braylon Allen and Tariq Cohen and some of these other guys. We'll see how Xavier Gibson has a little bit of an injury, what the Jets are going to do with wide receiver, if they're going to make any signing, or if the Devontae Adams stuff is interesting that we haven't touched on really, but we've been talking about it for years. So it's not like the newest thing ever. So much going on, Matt. I'm feeling good.
We'll be back. We will commit to minimum weekly. We have to get back on the grind. We got to get the shop going. If you made this far, hit subscribe and DM us on Twitter. If we're not following you, we will immediately follow you back. Right? We love the Jet fans that support the channel. We can do a better job. We're getting a little better on production. You can see
I'm blurry right now, as you're saying.
You couldn't be more blurry.
I could be a little blurrier. This is seeable. Why is it doing that?
Is the new microphone you got? Didn't you get the new one?
No, I never set it up. It's sitting over there. Oh, I'm unblurry again. Nice.
All right, buddy.
I'm looking at the microphone now. Maybe it's working from the box.
Good night, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Shut up.